looking for the blueprint for self-respect? You know, they told us Malcolm X was dangerous. They told us he was angry, dismissive, and too radical to be taken seriously. But what they didn't tell us is that Malcolm wasn't teaching hate. He was teaching history, identity, self-respect, in a world determined to strip us of all three. How about some black history that makes you go, And in this episode, we're diving into the life and the transformation of Malcolm X, talking about the man who rose from pain and prison to power and purpose. And those words still ignite the fire of freedom in every generation that dares to listen to him. They told us integration was the goal, that acceptance into white society was the highest form of progress. But Malcolm saw something deeper. He said, you can't hate the roots of a tree and not hate the tree. He knew that before we could be respected by others, we had to first respect ourselves. Here's what really happened. Born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska in 1925, his family was terrorized by white supremacists from the start. His father, a Garveyite preacher, was likely murdered for his activism. His mother, institutionalized after years of harassment and poverty from terror organizations and white supremacists. The system broke everything around him except his spirit. Malcolm drifted into street life, hustling to survive. A story too many of us know. Until the prison system became his turning point. And there in prison, Malcolm encountered the teachings of the Nation of Islam. He educated himself. He read every book he get his hands on, and emerged with a new name and a new purpose. He dropped Little, the name forced upon his ancestors, and adopted X to symbolize what was stolen, his true African identity. When he spoke, people didn't just listen, they woke up. His words were sharp, his mind was sharper, and his message was clear. We didn't need approval. We didn't need awareness. And as a minister and a spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X called for black unity, self-defense, and economic independence. He challenged false peace of American racism, asking how a nation built on genocide and slavery could claim to be moral. And when mainstream leaders begged for patience, Malcolm reminded us that our ancestors had already waited for centuries. But here's what made Malcolm truly revolutionary. After leaving the Nation of Islam and traveling to Mecca, he witnessed Muslims of every race praying together. That experience expanded his vision and freedom beyond America. He began calling himself El Hajj Malik El Sabaz and started building a global alliance between oppressed people everywhere. He saw that the struggle for black liberation was not just civil, it was human. So why does Malcolm X still matter today? Because he taught us that liberation requires transformation. The real freedom begins the moment you stop begging for it. He challenges us to think critically, to study history, and to love ourselves fiercely. He told us that the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And he prepared us not just to survive, but to stand tall. Malcolm X didn't die a man consumed by anger. He died a man consumed by purpose. He was assassinated. He was murdered. He was killed in 1965 at just the tender age of 39 years old. But his ideas have outlived every bullet aimed at him. Because the truth doesn't die, it multiplies. So what about you? What would your X stand for? What would your history do? What part of history do you need to reclaim to stand fully in who you are? Malcolm showed us that knowing ourselves is the first act of revolution, and that love of self, of truth, of community is the greatest weapon of all. Because we understand that 5 minutes a day keeps the miseducation away. I want to continue to encourage you to stay curious, stay consistent, and keep learning what they tried to bury. If you enjoyed this lesson, you want to go deeper with us, click the link and learn more about our Black History flashcards and start learning our story one card at a time. Till next time, good people, my name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. Love, peace, and power to the people.